Hello everyone, welcome to ShailajaIAS and welcome to the PYQ Decoder course. I am Subhash. Today we are continuing with the class 3 of environment. As I told you earlier, environment is a very dynamic section where themes of both prelims and mains are asked with respect to cross-linking current affairs with the static concepts, and static concepts applications of current dynamics will be asked. So today, one more important theme we are coming up in this class 3, which is environmental pollution, degradation, and other pollutions related concepts with respect to environment, plastic, water, e-waste. All this becomes very important where UPSC time and again is asking questions with respect to this concepts, applications, many terms. Questions have been coming from this theme, which is very important. In the last class we saw 4 to 5 questions asked in the previous theme with respect to ecology, flora, fauna, biodiversity. In this theme also every year 4 to 5 questions is asked. So out of 1560 questions, 2 themes carry almost 50% weightage. 8 to 10 questions are coming from these 2 themes itself. So we'll see. We'll go through questions wise asked in 2025. Cement industry and the carbon emissions, right? CO2 emissions of cement industry is asking. Consider the following statements. Carbon dioxide emissions from cement industry accounts for more than 5% of global emissions. See the statement. See the options here. He's not telling about option 1. Option 1 is default correct. Is default right. He's asking whether 2 and 3 are correct, and that explains statement 1. Both explains 1, or only one explains 1, or only one of the 2 and 3 is correct and explains 1, and both 2 and 3 is neither 2 and 3 is correct. That is, both 2 and 3 are wrong. Statement 1 is a fact. By default it is right. 2025 questions. When he gives these 3 statement questions and asks to prove whether the second statement and third statement is right and that explains 1, know that he is making your job easy. Statement 1 is already correct. By default it is right. Carbon dioxide emissions from cement industry accounts for more than 5% of global emissions. Yes, it accounts for nearly 7 to 8% of global CO2 emissions. Silica bearing, second statement, silica bearing clay is mixed with limestone while manufacturing cement. This is the cement manufacturing process, and when silica bearing clay is mixed with limestone, you release carbon dioxide. That is a byproduct. So carbon dioxide emissions account for 5 to more than 5%, that is 7 to 8% of global CO2 emissions. This is the procedure, correct. Limestone is converted into lime during clinker production for cement manufacturing. Again, manufacturing process is explaining. CaCO3, statement 3, what happens? Limestone is converted into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide is produced as a byproduct, which is greenhouse gas, Both the statement 2 and statement 3 here are the procedures involved in cement production. In that cement production procedure, what happens? CO2 is produced, and that accounts for 7 to 8% of global greenhouse emissions. So your answer is option A, direct. Statement 2, 3, both are correct. Statement 2 and 3, and both are explaining statement 1, why cement industry accounts for more than 5% greenhouse gas emissions. Clear? 2025. This was asked. Next, in 2025, again with respect to direct air capture, capturing of CO2, direct air capture. With reference to direct air capture, which of the following are correct? Even if you have not tried anywhere, what is direct air capture? Directly from atmosphere. It's capturing air. Mainly for what? Mainly CO2. Right? Mainly carbon dioxide. It can be used as way of carbon sequestration. Yes, directly from atmosphere. Supreme Court, based on that guidelines, IIT, okay, IIT Delhi or Bombay did this direct air capture technology. It was in news, current affairs. It can be used as a way of carbon sequestration. Can be, sir, please see, can be, okay. It can be valuable for plastic production and food processing. It can be valuable when you are capturing carbon dioxide. Okay, it's a value-driven process. It's a green process. In aviation, it can be source of carbon for combining with hydrogen to create synthetic low-carbon fuel. It can be a source of carbon for combining. Okay, it can use the direct air carbon to synthesize hydrogen and low-carbon fuel. Can be again. Whenever possibilities are there in environment, new technologies, science and tech, all the three statements here is using can be and stands right. So answer is C, 1, 2, 3. What is the answer here? 1, 2, 3. Which of the following are correct is asking. Sometimes he'll ask which of the following are not correct and give none of the above. That time read the statement questions properly, then there will be none of the above answer if which of the following are not correct. Here all the following are correct and is asking which of the following are correct. So answer will be option C, 1, 2, 3. Direct air capture, extract CO2 directly from the atmosphere. This can be stored underground or used to produce carbon neutral product like synthetic aviation fuel, okay, SAF in aviation, and polymers, and in food carbonation also, right? All carbonated products, okay, cool drinks can be used. 2025 second question, this is next. With respect to emissions, 2025 only, third questions. Okay, students, third questions. India's CO2 emission trends is asking. Okay, we have our commitment, right, to become carbon neutral by 2070. Carbon dioxide emissions in India are less than 0.5 ton CO2 per capita. Whenever he gives data without, okay, whenever he's giving approximation, normally it tends to write. Whenever he gives states a fact without proper back check, background, okay, from which organization or who gave that data, then it tends to be wrong. We saw in economy also how he's making mistake. For example, export data, I didn't mention which export data given by whom. Okay, here also he just gave a statement, carbon dioxide emissions in India are less than 0.5 ton CO2 per capita. Okay, India ranks second in Asia Pacific region for CO2 emissions from the fuel combustion. See, India ranks second in Asia Pacific region. If you see as a word, USA, China stands, okay, top two. But in Asia Pacific region, which are the major economies? China, then India itself. So we know India ranks second. This statement is wrong, first statement. Second statement is right. Electricity and heat producers are the largest source of emissions in India. Yes, current production, thermal, right? Coal and heat producers are the largest sources of emissions. Yes, 50% of our current power comes from where? Thermal plants, which uses coal, which leads to emissions in India. So answer here is 2 and 3, which is option C. India's per capita is how much? 1.9 to 2 tons. Making statement 1 wrong, not 0.5 tons. It is less than the global average, but still, okay, it is not 0.5 tons, but 1.9 to 2 tons per capita. And India ranks second in Asia Pacific after China. Asia Pacific region is telling. And the power sector, coal-based, is the largest contributor for the CO2 levels. Almost 50% of our power needs is by coal-based thermal power plants. That's why the emissions are also highest with respect to, okay, electricity and heat production. Clear? Third question in 2023. Fourth question in 2023 in this theme. So previous theme also 4 questions were asked in 2025. This theme 4 or 5 questions have been asked in, okay, this theme. 2 important themes, 8 to 9 questions are coming. Okay, how many of the following contain plastic? Cigarette butts, eyeglass lenses, car tires. Everything is made of petroleum products, which is plastic, right? all petroleum products, byproducts. These are petroleum byproducts. Every cigarette butt, eyeglass, lenses, car type, when these kind of statements come, go with all three. Close your eyes. Go. Everything is synthetic. Everything is made of plastic. Cigarette butts contain cellulose acetate, bioplastic. Eyeglass lenses are mostly polycarbonates. Okay. Question is come from polycarbonate, bisphenol A. Okay. PET bottles, right? PET bottles and synthetic rubber, a plastic polymer. Car tires, no, it's a synthetic rubber now. Not just natural rubber. Okay, we do vulcanization process for the rubber, right? Vulcanization, we use the plastic to make synthetic rubber. So all the three have plastic here. Again, 2025, remediation. Okay, remediation. Question has been asked. Fifth question in 2025 in this thing. Okay, with respect to activated carbon. Okay, activated charcoal question had come in 2020 or 21. Activated carbon. Okay, all this nanomaterial and carbon sequestration question had come. Question has come in 2025. First statement. Activated carbon is a good and an attractive tool to remove pollutants from effluent streams and to remediate contaminants from various industries. Yes, like activated charcoal, activated carbon can be a good and attractive tool to remove the pollutants from these industries. It exhibits a large surface area and strong potential for absorbing heavy metals. Activated charcoals used in mining areas, what it will do, all the dust, it will absorb or it will absorb. It should have large surface area. This is a property. This is a property you need to have with respect to carbon remediation or pollution remediation. Yes, this statement also is a correct. Okay, it can be easily synthesized from environmental waste with high carbon content. Yes, activated carbon with new technologies can be easily synthesized from the things that are there in the environment which are having high carbon content. Here also positive, technological, okay, concepts, all positive. All three statements are positive. Possibilities, theories, concepts explaining the active carbon and how it works, the functionalities. Which of the following in respect of the above statement is correct? All three. And here is asking whether this explains statement 1 or not. This is default right, statement 1. So it's asking whether statement 2 and 3 are correct and whether both of them explain statement 1 here. Yes, both 2 and 3 are correct and both will explain statement 1 that it is a good and attractive tool. Why? It can be easily synthesized, therefore it's a good and attractive tool. It exhibits large surface area, its functionality is very good, okay, for strong potential for absorbing heavy metals, okay, heavy pollutants. That also explains statement 1. So here both statement 2 and 3 are correct and both are explaining statement 1. So 5 questions in 2025, my friends. Sixth question in 2025. Again with respect to air pollution. Out of 17 questions, 10 questions came from 2 themes. Last theme, okay, in the previous class, 4 questions had come. In this theme, 6 questions has come till now with respect to environmental pollution and degradation. Cloud seeding for pollution control. Artificial way of causing rainfall to reduce air pollutions make use of. For example, say in Delhi, summers very, okay, dusty and so much of air pollution. So in winter also, right, you have smog, pollution in, okay, Delhi, where emissions, okay, and you have so much of pollution that the emissions will go beyond 500 ppm and dangerous levels. So you can artificially seed the cloud to get the rainfall so that all the dust particles coagulate and come down. So to reduce air pollution, what you will do in cloud seeding, okay, which are the ingredients you will add, okay, direct from NCERT, it is silver iodide and potassium iodide, okay. Silver iodide and potassium iodide are the, okay, things that you use in cloud seeding. It involves dispersing substances like silver iodide and potassium iodide. Okay, it will act as a nuclei, okay, serve as a ice nuclei, encouraging the precipitation. Okay, it will coagulate all the cloud molecules to precipitate, to condense and come down as a rainfall. So silver iodide and potassium iodide. Yeah, direct question. Okay, now we will see 2024 questions. Almost 6 questions came in 2025. Now we'll quickly go through the other PYQs and see from which important themes question has come. This with respect to perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS, okay, that are used in making many consumer products. He is only telling UPSC PFAS is used in many consumer products. Consider the following statements. PFAS are found in drinking water, food, packaging materials. Yes, he is telling that they are found in many consumer products. PFAS are not easily degraded in the environment. Yes, plastics not biodegradable, therefore not easily degraded in environment. Persistent exposure can, okay, possibility again, sir, possibility can lead to bioaccumulation in animal bodies. We have biomagnification and bioaccumulation, right? Two concepts. Here he is speaking with respect to bioaccumulation. Let me know in YouTube comment what is bioaccumulation and biomagnification. What are the difference between the two? So yes, can be possibilities. Plastic, non-biodegradable, persistent, continuous exposure can lead to bioaccumulation. All are possibilities, and therefore 1, 2, 3, all the 3 are correct here with respect to PFAS. Clear? Polyfluoroalkyl substances and perfluoroalkyl substances. Next, with respect to chewing gum, plastic again pollution asked in 2024. Statement 1 and 2 is given. That time only 2 statements were there, not 3 statements, and asking whether statement 2 is correct and explains statement 1. Statement 1, many chewing gums found in the market are considered a source of environmental pollution. Yes, correct. Chewing gum are not readily degradable. They contain some amount of plastic. Many chewing gums contain plastic as gum base. Yes, this is also correct. That's why they warn that chewing gum continuously, if you are chewing, you might get, okay, plastics, you might enter plastics into your stomach and get cancer and other diseases. So statement 2 is correct, and that explains statement 1. Straightforward, 1 and 2 are correct, and 2 explains statement 1 is the answer here. Okay, many chewing gums use synthetic rubber, polyethylene or polyvinyl acetate as a gum base. These are plastic polymers and are non-biodegradable, causing microplastic pollution as well as diseases like cancer in our body. So you have to be very careful while having chewing gum, bubble gums. Okay, this is the 2024 question. Next, we'll see with respect to again bioremediation, right? Bioremediation. We saw carbon sequestration in 2025. Here with respect to bioremediation, again question had come. Okay, environmental pollution, degradation, okay, how to mitigate that, which are the new technologies. Questions are coming revolving around this theme time and again. Membrane bioreactors are often discussed in the context of assisted reproduction, vaccine production, drug delivery with nanotechnology, wastewater treatment. Membrane, where will you use? Whenever there is a membrane, for example, in reverse osmosis, right? In now Middle East, there is a one more threat along with US-Iran war, okay, which is Strait of Hormuz oil threat. One more is desalination plants threat, right? To destroy their source of drinking water or pure water, not salty water. This desalination takes place through which technology? Reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis involves membrane. And membrane bioreactors, okay? Biological membranes will be used for what? Normally, wastewater treatment. Here, in desalination plants, in river osmosis, okay, membranes are used to convert salt water to fresh water. Similar concept with respect to membrane bioreactors is wastewater treatment. It combines biological treatment like activated sludge with membrane filters. This technology efficiently removes pathogens and contaminants, producing high quality treated water for reuse. Okay, if bacteria, viruses, microbes are there in water, it can pollute water and make it smelly. That can be rectified through membrane bioreactors for wastewater treatment. Next, air quality. Direct question. This is from NCERT. According to the Environmental Protection Agency (EPA), which of the following is the largest source of sulfur dioxide emissions? Okay, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide and acid rain. Okay, this is a recurring concept. NCERT has given detail. Based on that, current affairs linked in 2024. Okay, according to EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, which of the following is the largest producer of sulfur dioxide? Which is producing largest sulfur dioxide? Locomotives using fossil fuels, ships using fossil fuels, extraction of metals from ore, power plants using fossil fuels. Okay, most of them are sulfur free and leaded free with respect to locomotives, ships. However, in power plant production, where we are using fossil fuel, we have still sulfur and we are using so much of fossil fuel that produces highest sulfur dioxide. Okay, fossil fuels burning in power plants is the largest global CO2 emitter. Sorry, SO2 emitter. Largest SO2 emitter compared to locomotives, okay, automobiles and ships. So here answer, if you had studied with respect to current affairs and know, okay, sulfur dioxide, where it will produce mostly in the power plants, and power plants already I told we are using coal also contains sulfur dioxide. Okay, if you are using fuel, diesel plants, that also will have sulfur dioxide, therefore becoming the primary production of sulfur dioxide using fossil fuels when it burns. Next, greenhouse gases. In the making of how many of the following are HFCs used, right? Hydrofluorocarbons used, aerosols, foam agents, fire retardants, lubricants. In making of all these things, HFCs are used. CFCs, you know, we mitigated which convention? Let me know. Which protocol? Okay, is it Montreal? Okay, many protocols are there, right? CFCs have been, okay, almost eliminated. However, HFCs are still used. Hydrofluorocarbons. Which of the following is using HFCs in making of these lubricants, aerosols, foam agents, fire retardants? In this kind of statements, okay, apply your knowledge, and if you make sense, okay, all will be right, go with all four. Unless your knowledge says otherwise, go with all the statements when this kind of question comes. HFCs replaced ozone depleting substances like chlorofluorocarbons, and they are used in refrigerants, blowing agents for foams, propellants in aerosols, fire suppressants. Okay, all these applications, HFCs have replaced the CFCs. However, HFCs are also causing greenhouse gases, so global warming is caused by HFCs. Not ozone depletion, but global emissions or global greenhouse gas agents is acted with HFCs. HFCs acts as global greenhouse gases, causing global warming. This is clear. I hope this is clear. Now with respect to mercury, we'll see asked in 2023. Gold mining is a source of mercury pollution. Yes, mercury. In gold mining, traces of mercury will be there. Coal-based thermal power plants cause mercury pollution. Yes, again, it is correct. There is no known safe level of exposure to mercury. Okay, here you will be stuck. No known safe level. Mercury is such a pollutant that it will directly impair your nervous system. So yes, there is no safe level according to WHO. No safe level of mercury that can protect from neural diseases from mercury. Mercury Minamata disease, right? Japan convention which we have seen. So here all the three. Small scale gold mining is the largest source of mercury. Coal contains trace mercury released during combustion, and the WHO, World Health Organization, states mercury is highly toxic with no established safe limit as such or safe threshold as such. Clear? We'll go quickly, we'll see the themes, okay? These questions may not repeat again, but themes we'll see. We'll see the statements also, how he has given the options and where he has kept the traps logically. How many of the following are considered and discussed for carbon sequestration, right? Same thing. Spreading finely ground basalt rock on farmland extensively. Yes, basalt rocks absorb carbon. Increasing the alkalinity of ocean by adding lime. Okay, that will lead to carbon dioxide becoming rock formation. Capturing carbon dioxide released by various industries and pumping into abandoned subterranean mines. All the mines which are abandoned, you can store carbon, sequester and storing. Yes, all the three are correct. And it's a concepts we study in environment with respect to carbon sequestration. Direct to the point, all the three statements are correct. Next, WHO air quality guidelines asked in 2022. Okay, here you need to have knowledge with respect to air quality. Okay, all the concepts with respect to air quality, how you measure, what are the standards in India, right? All the yellow, green, orange, red, how much ppm of, air quality pollution, that all you need to know. In the context of WHO air quality guidelines, consider the following statements. 24-hour mean of PM 2.5 mean should not exceed 15 microgram per meter cube and annual mean should not exceed 5 microgram per meter cube. Okay, here you need to have specific knowledge. Then, in a year, the highest level of ozone pollution occurs during the period of inclement weather. No, when you have sunny weather, this is a concept. Not when inclement. Inclement means very cold, cloudy weather. You need to have sunny weather for ozone. Not in inclement weather. Highest level of ozone pollution occurs during very sunny weather. PM10 can penetrate the lung barrier into bloodstreams. Okay, this is the concept. Which PM, particulate matter, can enter into our blood vessels. It is not PM10. PM10 is bigger. PM 2.5 less than PM5 can enter to our lungs and bloodstream. So statement 2 and 3 is wrong. Excessive ozone can trigger asthma. Yes, ozone is also an irritant, and a health threat. So it can trigger asthma. Okay, ozone can become smog also. Ozone can become smog with, what do you have? Dew. Dew plus ozone, photochemical smog can happen. So here 2 and 3 are wrong. If you eliminate 2 and 3, you will get 1 and 4, or 2 pairs are 1 and 4 are correct. If it's a pair, you know 2 and 3 are wrong, so 2 pairs. Statement 1, you need to have a factual knowledge, and here since options are given and you need not know statement 1 factually knowledgeable when options are given, you can eliminate 2 and 3 and get the answer 1 and 4. Next, with respect to PET, plastics, again question asked, polyethylene terephthalate. Its fibers can be blended with wool and cotton fibers to reinforce their properties. Yes, plastics, synthetic plastics, for example, can be used for the natural fibers to blend to make it stronger. Okay, rayon, nylon, all this. No, you can use plastic with natural fibers. Containers made of it can be used to store any alcoholic beverage. Can this plastic be used to any alcoholic beverage? There are some alcoholic beverage which can have chemical reaction. Even if you don't know, you should know that, at least common sense, that all alcoholic beverages, okay, cannot be stored. If some alcoholic beverages, if reacts with PET, it can become poisonous. So statement 2 is wrong. Bottle can be recycled into other products. Yes, recyclable. Plastic recycling, okay, is a concept and is a trend. Article made of it can be easily disposed of by incineration without causing greenhouse gas emissions. Any plastic incineration will have CO2, will have its footprint. So statement 4 also is wrong here. 2 pair are 1 and 3. PET is highly recyclable and used in blending with other natural materials. It isn't recommended for high concentrated alcohol storage, which makes its leaching. Alcohol can leach the plastic. Okay. Then incineration will release carbon. So statement 4 is wrong. Again, concept of greenwashing. I think we did it in economy. Terminology, greenwashing. Washing yourself, okay, as you are a green product. So, conveying a false impression that a company's products are eco-friendly and environmentally sound. Yes, statement 1 is properly explaining greenwashing. Non-inclusion of ecological environmental cost, okay, that in budgeting. Ignoring the disaster ecological consequences while undertaking infrastructure development. That will come under EIA, right? Environmental Impact Assessment. Making mandatory provisions for environmental cost in government project program. Let me know all the terminologies with other options. So here greenwashing is falsifying that your products are green when they are not. Next question with respect to acid rain, directly from NCERT. Excess of which of the following causes acid rain? NOx, nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide, SOx's. NOx and SOx, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Which one? Nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide. Not carbon monoxide and ozone will cause acid rain, but nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide. So option 2 and 4 directly. 2 pair are 2 and 4. It mixes with water to form nitric oxide and sulfur, okay, sulfuric, weak sulfuric acid, and causes acid rain. Next, R2 Code of Practices constitutes a tool available for promoting the adoption. R2, okay, environmentally responsible practices in electronic recycling industry. Ecological management of wetland of international importance. Sustainable practices in the cultivation of agriculture crops. Environmental impact assessment in the exploitation of natural resources. R2, reuse, reduce, recycle. Where you are seeing these terminologies? Responsible, recycle, okay? Use whenever, if you have knowledge, if you have studied this, fine. If not, whenever terminologies is there, try to correlate with the options. R2, reduce, reuse, recycle, responsible. Okay, that is option A here. R2 is responsible recycling standard. It's a specifically designed for metric for recycling industry to ensure safe practices, environmentally safe practices in electronic recycling industry. This is clear? This question is with respect to copper smelting plants. Okay, now recently boilers, industrial boilers, okay, blasts are happening. Question might come from that theme also. Copper smelting, that was a issue news in 2021. Question came that year. They may release lethal quantities of carbon monoxide into environment. No, carbon monoxide is highly dangerous. If it enters to your bloodstream, okay, it might cause deprived oxygen and death also. Okay. Coal industries during Industrial Revolution in 19th, 20th century in Britain released carbon monoxide and there was black death, massive death. So even slight carbon monoxide released and the surrounding area, it will affect the life forms. So even they may release, if they release light also is a dangerous, but if they release lethal quantities, then certain death is guaranteed. Why? Carbon monoxide deprive oxygen going to your brain, okay, and it will cause certain death. So this statement is wrong. Even if carbon monoxide is there, through precipitation and other mechanisms, it will be oxidized to release CO2, not carbon monoxide, which is a very dangerous gas. The copper slag can cause the leaching of some heavy metals in environment. Yes, copper slag can leach some heavy metals into environment. It can go into soil, water bodies. They may release sulfur dioxide as pollutant. Yes, this is also one of the concepts of copper smelting, okay, where it will release these two important pollutants. So statement 2 and 3 are correct. However, statement 1 is wrong. Okay, this knowledge with which gases it is released and not very poisonous or certain death to humans and other living organisms, and which poisons are being released without treated, which also harms environment but not very lethal. These two, copper slag will leach, okay, heavy metals into soil, water, and they may release sulfur dioxide also, but not lethal quantity of carbon monoxide. This is with respect to properties of furnace oil. With reference to furnace oil, consider the following statements. It is product of oil refineries. Yes. Some industries use it to generate powers. Yes, in shipping, in generating power, some industries they use. It causes sulfur emissions. Yes, all are generic statements. When you have this kind of statements, go with all the three pairs or 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's a residual fuel from the crude oil after crude oil distillation. Fractional distillation we will do, no? Used in power plants, ships, and it has high sulfurous content and very polluting oil. So, significant sulfur emissions it causes. Now, next questions with respect to particulate matter. Magnetite particles suspected to cause neurodegradative problems are generated as environmental pollution from which of the following? Which of the following? Brakes of motor vehicles, magnetite, right? Hematite, magnetite, these are all iron and iron byproducts. You see, which of the following are made from iron? Brakes of motor vehicles can have, engines of motor vehicles can have iron. Microwave stoves within home, microwaves, do they have iron inside? No. Power plants, yes. Telephone lines, are they made up of iron? No. Okay. Telephone lines are not made up of iron, copper lines. So, statement 5 is wrong, 3 is wrong. Here, what is the answer? 1, 2, 4, 3 pair. Not blindly, all of the above. Go with the knowledge, go with your conceptual understanding, clarity. If that is not there, next the end is see the possibilities, and all the possibilities are aligning, go all of the above. Here, 1, 2, and 4. Next question. With respect to bisphenol A in plastics. Bisphenol A cause of concern, is a structural key component in the manufacturing of which of the following kinds of plastic? Low density polyethylene, polycarbonate, PVC, and PET. It's a primary, bisphenol A is primary, okay, raw material for polycarbonate plastic, to make polycarbonate plastic and epoxy resins, and it's a very pollutant, okay, plastic, but also required in many of the industries. So bisphenol A is primarily used to make polycarbonate and epoxy resins. It will affect your endocrine, okay, endocrine system, nervous system, it will affect. Next. Triclosan considered harmful when exposure to eye level for a long time. Eye level, long time. So food preservative you can eliminate. Fruit ripening, not high level and not long time. Residual plastic container and toiletries, 50-50. By reading the statement, you can come to 50-50. Reuse plastic containers. Okay, if you use it, and toiletries. Long time is mostly present in which of the following? Exposed to high level and use it for long time. Okay, here you need to have clarity. At least 50-50 if you eliminate, this were in toiletries. Triclosan is an antibacterial agent found in consumer product like soap, toothpaste, and deodorants. All the toiletries which we use now, that it is found, and continuously if exposed to high levels, it can be harmful. Okay, long term health concerns can be developed. So regulation should be done with this. Not reuse plastic containers. Here, toiletries. Next question. Which factors lead to benzene exposure? Right, benzene is a organic chemical. Automobile exhaust will have benzene. Tobacco smoke, yes. Wood burning, yes. Varnished wooden furniture, yes. Polyurethane product, yes. Benzene, if you know, okay. It has a circular ring kind of chemical structure which is present in all of these products. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It's a very volatile component released during all these things. Clear? Application of steel slag. Steel slag can be material for which of the following? Steel slag can be used for which of the following is asking. Base road construction you can use. Soil improvement, yes you can use. Cement production, yes you can use. These kind of statements, all of the above. Coal ash, okay, and emission. Coal ash contains arsenic, lead and mercury. Yes, correct. So, coal plants release a sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide. Yes, we saw in previous slides. High ash content is observed in Indian coal. That's why we will not use Indian coal and we will import coal. One of the reason is because high ash content and high pollution of Indian coal. And it will clog the, okay, coal thermal plants also. Handling the ash content is also very tedious task. So, all of the above are correct. Here, 1, 2, 3. All 3 are correct. So, this is a very enriching theme, very important theme where almost 40%, right? 6-7 questions are coming from this theme every year. So, make sure you revise this theme. All the current topics are subject, okay, are linked to static, studied properly and revise well. So, see you in the next class with another theme. Take care.